Welcome to the Sip It and Rip It podcast. I'm Zack. He's Nathan. You can find us at Sip It and Rip It on Instagram. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Where else can you find us? YouTube sometimes.
YouTube, if everything works out correctly.
Yeah.
And we don't have fucked up video like we always do.
He's at Nathan Skedios, and I am just on the Sip It and Rip It at Instagram. So
please rate us 5 stars.
give us 5 stars.
We have asked several times.
So we're starting to get into some more short format stuff. So we're going to skip our gym experiences this week. Because we've kind of already discussed them, maybe or maybe not, who knows. But so you don't have to listen to that again. We're going to go ahead and skip those and go straight to PR songs. What's your PR songs?
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. All right, I'll start. All right, cool. I was actually prepared for this one. The last episode, I did not prepare for. I sat here and scrolled for too long. This is a different play for me. They're definitely a heavy band, but it's definitely a little bit more commercial. But it's one of the sexiest songs on the planet. It's super heavy, slower paced, but goddamn, I just love this band so much. And it's You've Seen the Butcher by the Deftones. All right. Fucking heavy as balls, pretty slow. But man, that song is so goddamn good. It's been on every gym playlist I've had for a few years. And like I said, it's a little slower pace, super heavy, super smooth, sexy sounding song. It's a badass fucking song. Yeah, that's mine. You got yours?
You only brought one?
I only brought one for this episode. Okay. So we're doing a short format.
Well, fair enough. Then I'll bring one. And this is actually a song that you got me into. Is Dear Diary by Bring Me the Horizon.
Hell yeah.
I can, it's really fast paced, except the one little part where it isn't. But there's just something about that song that really gets me riled up. I don't know, just... Yeah,
I mean, I don't gonna lie to you. Ollie Sykes he's kind of a hop vocalist, though, in a way. Like, I have to say, because we listen to things that are more musically driven most of the time, I don't know that band's the same without Ollie Sykes.
Yeah, that's fair.
He's kind of a monster on that new record. Because, I mean, the record in general is not super heavy.
No. No, it's not.
Parasite Eve's another one good on that record.
Yeah.
Fucking like that song.
That was a video game.
Really?
Yeah. There was a video game called Parasite Eve. It was like an old PlayStation 1 game.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know. I didn't know.
I don't know if the song's about it or not. But
not a bit, but You've Seen the Butcher and Dear Diary.
Yeah.
Listen to them.
They're good songs. We were drinking the same thing we were last episode.
Because we haven't finished them yet. So double it up.
In case you're wondering, still, Cake Therapy by Trim Tab Brewing.
And then I have the Peanut Butter Cups by Trim Tab Brewing. It's Trim Tab Brewing. Trim Tab Brewing.
Trim Tab Brewing. Trim Tab Brewing.
All right.
That was a little too perfect. I'm not going to lie. We timed that really well.
We did good.
I hope it comes through really good. I might have to do some editing on that one and make one our voices
stereo,
one each.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. But anyway, so what are we doing today, Zach?
So we are going to ask each other questions, and they're going to be kind of fun, lighthearted. They don't necessarily have to be not serious, but we're going to do them like kind of rapid fire, and we're going to take a minute or two per question to answer them. And we're not really going to time it, but we're going to try to move this along pretty quick. And I don't know what he's asking me, and he doesn't know what I'm asking him. So should be pretty fun.
Do you want to go one at a time?
Yeah, we can go back and forth like that. That's fine. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want me to start or you want to start?
Are you asking or answering first? That's
whatever your preference, but I do know I have more questions than you, so it may be beneficial.
Well, that's fine. You go ahead and start.
So the first one, and this is going to be probably pretty easy. What's your favorite cheat meal?
My favorite cheat meal?
Yeah.
Man, honestly, I could give a long-winded response because it could be a lot of things, but honest to God, what I'm going to go to first is I'm going to go get a couple of double quarter pounders from McDonald's, a large fry, maybe a McChicken or 9, and the biggest fucking, a liter of Diet Coke if I can do it, just the biggest fucking Diet Coke.
But no milkshake.
No, I typically don't do that. I'm pretty much all about the beef, baby.
That's fair.
Yep.
Their milkshakes kind of taste like snot anyway. So
I don't mind a McDonald's milkshake, but it's just not. That's not where my mind goes. Like when I crave something trashy like that.
That's fair. That's fair.
So it's just what it is. Yep. But yeah, McDonald's double quarter pounders. I want the whole combo, an extra double quarter pounder, and like I said, maybe a McChicken or 9.
You want some pink sludge.
I do.
Some pink sludge.
We're getting after it, baby. Let's go.
Well, I guess that makes your turn.
Your favorite lift and why?
Favorite lift, man, it has changed so many times in the past. Like, it used to be deadlift, and maybe it was just because
something raw about deadlift.
There is something raw about a deadlift, and when I first started, that was what kind of drove me into powerlifting, was just that feeling like I needed to feel strong because mentally I was very weak at the time.
And deadlift will do that.
Yeah, no, I definitely, and even though looking back, I had some dog shit form sometimes, especially when it got heavy. I was like, man, I don't know how my lower back survived.
You're talking to a guy built like Quasimodo. It's okay.
but you know, as I've gotten better at them, I've liked them less because they hurt more. And it may just be getting old.
It's the load too. I mean, as you become a better deadlifter, it's just hard to be consistently great at deadlifts. So you have to really start doing things different. So,
and even though it is the lift that has hurt me the most times, it is probably the lift that I haven't always enjoyed throughout my entire exercise career is bench press.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, it's not a technical, I mean, it's sort of technical, but it's not the most technical lift. It's not the most, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it doesn't tick a lot of CNS boxes, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't. But for me, it's just like, it feels good, especially like high volume bench press is just.
It feels good, yeah.
Singles are okay, but the more reps that I get, the more I enjoy my bench press.
It's that gym bro thing too. How much you bench?
I am a gym bro.
That traditional Mark Bill thing. He built a whole company around it.
Yeah.
How much you bench?
Yeah.
Like, that's what people that don't know much about our sport, if they hear you're in the gym all the time, they're going to ask you. They don't give a fuck about your mile time or how much you squat or how many sit-ups you can do in a row. They're going to ask how much you bench. You know. So
now, I will say deadlift has become a little more prominent because of social media. So some people, some people may ask how much you bench press.
That, yeah. Nobody ever asks about the rest, though.
No.
Yeah, so that's a good answer, man.
Nobody asks how much you bicep curl either. They just want to know if you have big biceps.
Yeah, that's it. and I don't, so we can move on to my question now if you want to.
Good segue. What is your least favorite non-bicep exercise?
Least favorite non-bicep?
Yeah.
It's an easy one, man. Lunges or split squats. I have a love-hate relationship with them. With this torn hip labrum, I don't have a lot of stability in my hips, so they're very difficult for me, and they're very difficult for me to do heavy. Because of pain, because of just the nature of it in general, I just don't enjoy them. That's an easy, and then most of that's pain driven, to be honest with you. If I was perfectly healthy, like when I started doing lunges a lot, I was in the CrossFit gym. I could do them from now until kingdom come. I can't do that anymore with a severed labrum. So it just is what it is.
And this was kind of a two-parter. So that's your least favorite non-bicep exercise. What is your favorite bicep exercise?
Favorite bicep exercise? Realistically, I really, really, really like just a standard standing curl on an easy curl bar. Yeah.
That's very fair.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be honest with you too. If the gym's empty, I am guilty of curling on a straight bar.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I like it. I feel like, it's one of the better feeling things. Yeah, I mean, the straight bar does. Yeah, the easy curl obviously doesn't. Yeah. But yeah, just standing barbell or easy curls. Yeah. Absolutely.
Some sort of standing barbell curl. Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, it's my turn. Yeah. I have to ask you one. Cool. All right. So this is, I'm going to ask it two separate because you got more questions than I do.
Sure.
But one kind of leads into, actually, never mind, I'm wrong. Your favorite non-competition compound movement. So it can't be squat, bench, or deadlift, but it does need to be compound.
That's interesting. Probably, even though I'm not doing them right now, I probably would say overhead press.
That's fair. I like those too.
Even though I like, there's just something about overhead pressing.
It's like deadlift for your upper body.
Yeah. Kind of.
It just kind of makes you feel like a fucking man.
Yeah, because it's like you can bench press a whole lot. You go and you start overhead pressing, you get humbled quick.
Yeah,
like you don't realize how much of a bitch pressing
a 2-plate overhead press is serious.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of people who can press 1 plate overhead.
Exactly.
I mean, you think about there's some study like a 225 bench press is the top like 1% or whatever, and you don't see it because it's 1% of the population and not 1% of gym goers or whatever. But you think about a 225 overhead press, that might be 1% of the the gym population.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely is. And definitely when you start getting beyond that. Yeah, I mean, other than my strongman friends, I don't have a whole lot of people pressing 3 plates.
No.
That's very rarefied air, to be honest with you. Now, I'm not talking about like in a jerk or a push press.
It's just like
a standing strict press. I don't have a whole lot of friends, even the strongman game, pressing.
And I will never do like a push press or a jump press or anything.
Well, I mean, there's a time and a place for it, but we're not in that sport.
Yeah, so, it doesn't provide me with the same stimulus, because when you think about just like jumping and throwing it up, it's like you're just using momentum half the time. You're not really building your shoulders.
It's not the purpose that we do it. We do it for hypertrophy in our shoulders.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. So that makes sense. If I was a strongman, absolutely, I'd learn how to push dirt.
Yeah.
I mean, it just is what it is. Yeah. But I like that answer. It's a good one.
Back to me.
Yep.
All right. This one is a little more close. What's your favorite personal gym moment?
Favorite personal gym moment?
Yeah, the moment in the gym that really just kind of like is stored away in the positive side of your brain. Like you look back and you're like, that was a good day.
Yeah, honestly, it's been pretty recent. I went down to work out with Ron. I love squatting, but I'm not a good squatter. Mm-hmm. So they're near and dear to me, but they're also just an absolute motherfucker because I'm just not fucking good at them.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite lift, but it's just, I'm just not good at them. I don't know what to tell you. I've gotten injured a lot squatting. I've done a lot of things. So, it was not a big PR by no means. And I actually ended up crushing that a few weeks later, but probably the 451 with Ron for 2, mm-hmm. Because I got under it and just crushed it. It was an easy, most weight at the time I'd ever done for reps. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to look like a bitch in front of my coach.
Or Tammy.
Stuff like that. Or in front of Tammy. Me, I'm just like fucking incredibly strong. I have only 100 pounds more than her on the bar at that point, you know what I mean? And we're both squatting doubles, and she's an absolute badass. I'm like, I can't be. And Ron beside me's got 622 on the bar. Like, there's no way I'm fucking being a bitch in that moment. You know what I mean? Just not a fucking chance. So, I mean, yeah, and I get like, what people don't know is I get highly, highly emotional about lifting, especially if it's a weight that scares me, mm-hmm. to the point that I can nearly, like, when I think about like having to get under, when I got under 375 the other night on bench press, I could have nearly cried. Mm-hmm. And it's not necessarily about, I don't believe I can do it. It's just, for me, I find it hard to believe that I'm doing these things that I never thought I'd be able to do.
Yeah.
And I'm beating them, you know what I mean? So, that's fucking cool. But for right now, that's it. But I think that happy moments in powerlifting can be fleeting, especially when you tie your mental health to it. Like, immediately, even with that squat, like I said, I had to squat more than that a couple weeks later. You know what I mean? So, it was dead and gone. So,
but that one was. That one specifically, you remember because it was with
and not to mention it also was kind of. It's kind of affirming for a way for me because it felt in that moment I felt like I belonged in the sport.
Yeah.
So
that's a good reason.
Yeah. So I guess it's my turn to ask you one.
Back to me. Yeah,
not as serious as that one. That was a good question. Favorite post weigh-in meal, because we have a 24-hour weigh-in.
Mm-hmm. Post weigh-in. So after I've weighed in, truthfully, I have not ever cut for a meat. So I don't really have anything, like, it's not like I'm starving myself going into...
And just going and gorging or something.
Yeah, so I really don't have a good answer for that, but, if it's post weigh-in, I'm going to be probably eating breakfast, because I probably didn't eat, because I do want to have the lowest weigh-in that I can, even if I'm not trying to cut for a weight class, but... So it's probably going to be breakfast, so it's probably just going to be a whole bunch of like chocolate chip pancakes and bacon and eggs and
fair
or steak, depending on where we're at, like
in time of the day, probably.
Yeah. Well, like steak and eggs or bacon and eggs, just depends on where I'm at, what's available there. But definitely some chocolate chip pancakes and some protein, eggs, bacon, steak, something like that. Some hash browns. If I'm going to Cracker Barrel, it'll probably be a Country Boy with steak medium rare, hash brown casserole, fried apples, eggs.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
that Country Boy's good.
Country Boy's good. Or it's the grandma sampler.
Yeah, there you go.
Just replace the sausage with some more bacon because I don't like sausage.
Sure.
And you want me to elaborate on why I don't like sausage?
No, that's fine.
You sure? Because it's a fun story. It's a childhood story.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I was about 8 or 9 years old. We were on a trip down to the beach. We went to this kind of shitty looking breakfast bar. Got some sausage. Ate it. Wasn't feeling too good. Didn't know why. I looked at my dad and he was like, "You think you need to go to the bathroom?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I think I need to go to the bathroom. My stomach hurts." I took 2 steps into that bathroom and projectile vomited all over the floor.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, that'll make you not like something.
My dad left. Me and my dad went in there, saw what happened, grabbed me. We were booking it pretty quick. Guy walked in to clean it up. All I could say was, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." We got out of there. Made our way to the beach.
There you
go. So next question for you is pretty close to the last one. What is your favorite client gym moment? So when you're working with someone, what was like a really cool thing that happened with a client that's like sticks out in your memory?
Oh man, I'm eternally proud of all of my clients.
That's the politically correct answer.
Well, and I really am. I think all of them know this.
But is there one, like maybe someone was real nervous about something and they were like, "I don't know if I can do this," and you kind of coached them up and like mentally prepared them and they went out and crushed it, or like something like that, or something that just kind of like is close to your heart?
Yeah, there's like I said, there is a whole lot of happy moments. There's a whole lot of bummers too, to be honest with you.
That's fair. But it doesn't have to be like your favorite, so you're not singling anybody out.
I'm not gonna lie to you, because I have such a soft spot for kids. It was Jordan Browning's entire meet day, Scott's son's entire meet day, in Iron City last year, because he ended up having a lot of stiff competition, and he went out and just absolutely fucking crushed every record he could crush in his age group, with the exception of bench press. But I mean, he just annihilated squat and deadlift records.
Did he get total too?
I think he got total. Yeah. So I mean, it's hard not to be proud of a kid, man. I mean, it really is. And that guy, he's already being recruited by major D1 colleges for football and stuff now. Like, wow. He's an athlete, and he's but I know how hard Jordan works, and it was just as earned as anybody. So I mean, he worked really fucking hard for that meet. So that's probably a politically correct answer too, a little bit, because I did defer to the kid. But it's runner up to that in a close, probably 1A, 1B though, is just Tammy Strong, who's my first client ever. At one time had 26 total records in the state of Alabama, and she's in her 60s.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's crazy. She's a strong woman.
She's a very strong woman, mentally and physically. Mm-hmm. She's dynamite. But 1A, 1B is Jordan and Tammy. Yep.
That's fair.
Tammy's a soft spot because she was the first one ever. So she was the first one that trusted me with any of this. So
the rest of you just dog shit.
No, that's not true at all.
I know.
Like I said, PC answer. I mean, I could have. You had a lot of great moments too. I could have sat here and kissed your ass.
I didn't expect anything from me.
That's what it is. I really am proud of all of them. Yeah. I really am. Yeah. And if you're listening, I'm really, really proud of you.
Yeah.
Promise.
We're proud of you just for making it this far.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
All right. What you got for me?
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting how this works. This was pretty easy. We talked about meals post weigh-in. Where are you going to go post competition?
Post competition.
It's a hungry time in your life. Like,
honestly, like, I wouldn't say there's one specific place, but there's a specific thing that I'm going to want to eat.
What's that?
Steak.
Steak.
Steak all day. Any steakhouse around, I'm going to steak, a baked potato, and some salad, and I'm going to be. If we're at like Texas Roadhouse or something, I'm gonna be eating rolls nonstop. Like we're gonna be
balls deep in steak, potatoes, and the whole nine, all the fixings.
Oh yeah, that's my go-to. Now I'm pretty easy, especially when it comes to food, like if everyone wants to go somewhere, I'm like, cool, let's go there. But like if it's my choice, some sort of steakhouse, so I can eat steak and potatoes.
I'm with you, man. Steak and whiskey is my top two things. Like whiskey for the pain,
physical and mental.
Yeah. Steak for the pain, physical and mental.
Hey, you gotta get your protein, man. You gotta rebuild those muscles.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, man. So what do you got for me?
Let's see. So what is your favorite non-gym hobby?
It's been more than a hobby because it's been my career before, but playing music for sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
I should have.
It's
that's an easy one.
It's I wouldn't say it's quite as fulfilling because I'm not a teacher of music. I do have a student or two, but I don't teach, so it's not fulfilling in the same way. But I'm a starving artist type and very much want to be involved in something that matters, whether my paycheck suffers or not.
Yeah.
So I really like the creative aspect of, I've played a lot of cover bands and made a lot of money doing that, but I really, really, really like writing music.
Yeah,
so,
that's fair. When I was a kid, when I was younger, I really enjoyed playing music, and I never really liked playing other people's music. I would learn it because I thought it was cool, but most of the time I would sit there and I'd rather just write my own music.
Yeah, and I'm very much like that still. Yeah. Even to the point that it's a little boring to me to have to learn a cover set or something like that. You know what I mean?
Because it's someone else's music, you don't really get your own personal touch on it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, very much so. And also, I mean, I've gotten to the point like my ear for music is so good that I can learn most commercial music. I would say I can learn without an instrument in my hand.
Yeah.
And I can go and pick it up and play it an hour later. So, when your ear has gotten that good, I mean, there's like some boring aspects of it, but creating is where it's at for sure.
Now go learn some polyphia. Tell me how that goes.
I mean, I probably could. And I mean, that'd be one of those things I probably would have to have a tab book or something for, or sheet music for. But yeah, I mean, that shit rips. I mean, I've learned a lot of Protest the Hero in Between the Buried and Me, and I can
that's
play that
fair.
shit,
Yeah, they're not. I would say they're not quite at the level as Polyphia, just because they are insanely talented.
They are. They are.
They're of all the.
That's not necessarily the band that comes to mind as a bass player. I know
that's fair. That's fair.
Clay Gober. He's a very, very good bass player, and he's used alternative picking, so he plays with his fingers and a pick, which is a guitar technique. So he's a very interesting technique and a very talented dude. But that's not necessarily, as a bass player, that's not necessarily who comes to mind. Like I'm going to go sit down and learn all this music or anything.
That's fair. I guess. Because I play guitar, I mostly focus on the guitar. So when I think about it, I just
that guy's a monster.
Watching him play is almost miraculous.
That has to be like the most reeled guitar player on the planet, too. He pops up in random reels for guitar stuff all the time. It's amazing. Super talented dude. Is that just me for you now?
Yeah.
God, I'm really struggling with this.
It was your idea,
taking turns. Yep. All right, this is a good one. What strength sport would you compete in other than powerlifting or bodybuilding?
Oh, strength sport?
Mm-hmm. So you think Olympic weightlifting, CrossFit, strongman, arm wrestling, like?
Well, I can tell you it's
Highland.
It has to be strongman. That's the only one I'd have any interest in doing.
Well, because we're both strongman fans.
Yeah, because like it's just an interesting sport. Like they have a lot of different things they have to prepare for. Like I couldn't tell you the names of these. They have to throw the it's either a kettlebell or a bag over.
It can be a kettlebell bag or a keg. Yeah,
keg throws.
Yep.
They have the deadlift competition. Obviously, they've had to deadlift cars,
Viking press,
log press,
squats. That's how Eddie Hall dominated when he won it. So
it's just a really interesting sport to have to train for because you have to train a lot of different things.
Yeah, it's definitely multi-modality, and that makes it interesting in my mind.
And it's not CrossFit. Like, no. It has that same, like, CrossFit is like that, but for weak people.
Yeah, I get that vibe too. And I don't think people appreciate enough the condition it takes to be a strong man. Yeah. Because there's another man doing something to a 1 rep max is a new level of difficult, but doing, when Eddie won it, he squatted 750, 15 or 16 times in a minute. The amount of conditioning that requires,
nuts.
I don't care that the guy weighs 440 pounds. Like the amount of conditioning that requires is fucking insane. So yeah, I'm with you on that answer. Yeah.
What is it a yoke that they have to carry?
Yeah.
The yoke carry, that seems insane.
They do farmers carries too, with frames and junk.
And a lot of times, like, they do farmer carries, it's like offset too.
Yeah.
Like offset
Benny
weights.
stones are offset.
Yeah.
That's a legendary thing in strongman. So.
And then don't they have the Atlas stones they have to pick up and set up? There's just so many different things. It'd probably be the most interesting sport to train for. Yeah,
because narrowing down on exactly what it is. I know they announced the events, 6 weeks out or so, but that's still not a whole training block.
No, that's for us. That's
enough for peak for things, and that's about it.
Yeah. So you have to be pretty much ready for just about anything.
Yeah, I like the multiple modality because it does seem like has some of the interest of CrossFit without it being CrossFit.
Yeah,
that's a good answer.
Sorry, CrossFitters, we just think you're weak and stupid. So, what is your favorite male and female power lifter? Another two.
So I'm gonna go based on personality over totals here, but
that's perfectly fine.
Personality over totals. I would be honestly personality and total wise, I'd be very hard pressed to say that my favorite power lifter. He's not a power lifter anymore, but probably is Brandon Allen.
That's fair.
That guy's just he was, not to mention, he was a great coach to me. He was a good friend to me, but he was just a fucking monster, dude. And his attitude and his just approach to things and he was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like I talked about it a lot that powerlifting lacks like
personality.
Sometimes it's a little golf-like and everybody gets their golf clap after the lift and it just goes. And then like Brandon was always fired up to be there.
Yeah.
And it's just fun to fucking watch.
Yeah.
Favorite female lifter, far and away, because I just hang on to every word she says. She's such a smart person, and she's also no longer powerlifting. Is definitely Steffi Cohen.
That's fair.
Yeah, pound for pound, the baddest fucking person on this planet.
Yeah. So, the funny thing about Steffi Cohen, she hates powerlifting.
Yeah, she's it is what it is. But she did dedicate her whole life to it, and it does take something out of you. So
she even when she was doing it, she said she hated it. She was like. I don't know what it was.
It's a fucking grind.
It is. I don't know what it was about powerlifting specifically. I just remember hearing her talk on the Mark Bell podcast, and everyone was kind of losing their mind. They're like, "So you were like the best, and you hated it." And it's like kind of like mind-boggling.
That gives you some idea what it takes discipline-wise, though, to be good at something.
Yeah.
That's that's a testament to willpower and discipline and everything like that. Yeah. She wanted the goal more than she wanted. Anything else.
Yeah.
So
I think that's what she said too. It was like it was more about winning
as a statement
than about actually powerlifting.
Yeah, and that makes sense. She was good at it. She was competitive. So so because of your last not so PC statement, this is going to be an interesting question right here.
All right,
and that's would you try CrossFit?
Would I try it? I don't.
We're not talking about we're talking about maybe a month in a CrossFit gym, like. Training what's on the board, just training like everybody else, like time off. We're in off season. You're not competing for a couple of years.
Probably not.
That's fair.
If I'm being honest, and the only reason why, and it's not really a dig at CrossFitters, is that I will never be a CrossFitter. And I understand there's an appeal to it, and I understand there's a sense of community about it, and that's one of the
too, though.
Yeah, exactly. But that's one of the big appeals to CrossFit is their big community. I remember hearing I forget his name. He was a bodybuilder. He went to CrossFit. Really successful in both. He was talking about what really brought him into CrossFit was the community. We have that at least here in powerlifting. Maybe not so much online. There's always going to be sour people online, but more locally, we already have that sense of community. And I'll never be competing for CrossFit, so I don't see a reason to train for it. Even off season, if I'm doing off season, I would rather be bodybuilding.
That's right. It is more beneficial to what we do.
Yeah, I do think that to be a little PC. If you're doing CrossFit because it's what you enjoy doing and it's making you active, then I'm for it.
Yeah.
I know a few people that used to go to the gym that we went to, and they're at a CrossFit gym now, And that's what's keeping them going. Like, they love CrossFit. They're staying active.
That's a cool thing.
Sure. That's great. That's wonderful. It's just not me.
Yeah.
Like, the CrossFit style is not me. And even when I was first learning about CrossFit, and I was still new to fitness in general, and everyone's like, CrossFit's the new thing. If you want to be like really strong and lean and have, a good physique and endurance, do this. And I was like, okay, sure, yeah. And I looked into it and I was like, it's just not for me.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
Like, I want to squat, bench, and deadlift.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I can do that in bodybuilding, and I can do that in powerlifting.
Yeah.
I could do that in strongman.
Yeah.
I can't do that in CrossFit.
That's fair. Yeah. I got you. Not do it optimally anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely do it in CrossFit.
But but not the
We don't want 225 for reps. We want,
I want
max weight on the bar.
500. Yeah. So for me, this one is kind of like a pretty open question, I guess. But what is your favorite style of dieting, and like maybe macros or something like that? Like,
so personally, I take a pretty low fat approach if I'm having to do it. I do like the vertical diet. Mostly, I eat vertical diet compliant things if I'm dieting to lose weight, and I keep fat down around about 25% of my total caloric value. Protein, I keep it as high as I can, and I eat the balance in carbs. Yeah. So, I mean, that's cut and dry. I feel the best on the paleo diet, but for what we do, you cannot. Unless you're eating really expensive cuts of meat, if you're eating ribeye 3 times a day, you're just not getting the caloric value we need from the paleo diet that you could from,
something like
vertical or something
diet,
like that. Yeah. And I'm not necessarily explicitly saying vertical, but I'm just telling you I eat mostly vertical diet compliant things when I'm dieting. So,
I feel like I'm the same way, so that's fair.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy answer.
Yeah.
Standard everything's a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go buy his products. He has products. I don't know what they are.
We got to get to moving here. I don't know what it is.
We only got a couple left, right?
Yeah. Who would you be coached by if money wasn't an object?
2 people come to mind, both very successful in powerlifting. First one that comes to mind is Ben Pollock, because he's kind of the GOAT at everything.
Yeah, he trains like we train. He's a real power builder.
Yeah, like he's a really jacked dude. He's bodybuilding. He's bodybuilding. He's been a really successful powerlifter at a lighter weight class.
Smart man. Extremely
smart. That being said, he doesn't take one-on-one clients, so it's not really a money thing. He just doesn't do it. The other person that comes to mind who does do one-on-one training would be Joe Sullivan, and that's primarily because he is kind of the squat god, and that is my weakest link. And I feel like if there's anyone that could fix my squat, it's him.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a good answer.
Yeah,
I can't argue with Joe Sullivan.
Yeah, I think both of them would be like ideal, because I mean, even Ben Pollock is an insanely good squatter.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I feel like he's a better deadlifter than he's a squatter, but he's
damn good at all. He's well balanced. Good at all 3.
He really is just good at everything.
He is.
So, like I said, the GOAT at everything.
For sure.
So, is this one? I wrote this down, but wording it is a little weird. So, is there something specific? It could be anything from a memory to a rivalry to anything like that pushed you further than you thought you could go, ever.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was the guy that said, talked about how healthy competition was and how the you versus you mentality is kind of bullshit. But I'll absolutely say it's me. I mean, I absolutely have done this to systematically destroy the person I used to be.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I feel like to a large extent I've done that. But yeah, I mean, I did this. Number one reason I started was for my physical health. It definitely became about my mental health, and now I'm just looking to absolutely fucking kill the person I used to be. Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like I've done that. The competition with other people thing is important in that journey, though, because that is what causes you to elevate. So I don't recant my you versus you being bullshit, but just my own self-hatred and self-loathing, my willingness to seek out things that hurt and that physically destroy me has fundamentally changed me, and it's made me a better person.
Yeah.
So
that's fair.
That's my answer. Very philosophical one, but I hate me, but I hate myself a little less than before powerlifting.
Yeah.
So
that's fair. I remember, and I didn't know if you were going to bring it up or not. There was a deadlift specifically that.
No, in that moment, that was really important. Yeah. I mean, I needed to crush him, and he got crushed, and that's is what it is. And I do competitively, I have found in powerlifting, even though I'm not that good yet, I do have that. I can grab an extra gear for some reason when it comes to hating somebody else. And, like it does, I do elevate that in that moment, to be honest with you. And that's not bad, but it doesn't stick out my mind like it does. I mean, every day's a battle, just not to give up and just not to quit. And the fact that I haven't quit, I'll just keep going anyway. Like, shit hurts. Just keep fucking going. Like,
there is just something primal though about beating somebody else.
It is. Yeah.
It's just
there's something there's something primal about destroying the person you used to be, because I was weak and timid and wasn't well spoken. Not very well spoken now, but
much better than you were. Because I feel like
you're a very angry and very disturbed individual before. Well, CrossFit started it, to be fair, to give them some credit. But before powerlifting, I was very, very much was not in a good mental health space at all. So,
sounds like you're saying my story.
Yeah, I mean, we started for a lot of the same reasons. So
very, very similar. Yep. Yeah. I was in a bad spot when I came to you about powerlifting, and then
it's just
I need like to.
There's something magical about having the tools in a shitty gym somewhere to fundamentally, literally having physical tools that are capable of fundamentally changing everything about you.
Yeah.
Everything that you hate, you can put to rest and kill in the gym.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And learning discipline changes you mentally. Like we talk about the physical changes, obviously, and those are very helpful in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of mental changes that happen in the gym, because once you become dedicated and disciplined, you think about things differently. You can process things differently.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's kind of insane. And it goes back to, I think it's Lane Norton said this, or he quoted it. If exercise was a pill, it would be the most prescribed drug in the world.
Oh, it would be. Yeah, absolutely.
But nobody wants to put in the work.
Nobody wants to work. Yeah.
Everybody wants the pill. They don't want the lifestyle.
Nobody
change.
wants the long answer ever.
But that's
so much beauty lies in the long thing. You know what I mean? It really does. It gives you, if you have a goal that you haven't met yet, it gives you quite a bit of purpose to try to go get it. It really does. So, lighthearted one.
Oh, you got one more?
I got one more.
Oh, man.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're playing this one.
I forgot about that.
Fuck, marry, kill. Overhead press. Pull-ups. And front squat. And I do these because those are the three most complained things from my clients.
Let's see.
Those three things.
Front squat, overhead press, and what was that other one?
Front squat, overhead press, pull-ups.
Pull-ups. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and say kill pull-ups.
We're killing pull-ups. Okay, all right.
Kill pull-ups.
I'm a little surprised that it's not the front squat.
I used to be really, really good at pull-ups, and now I'm not.
That weight gain changes those fundamentals.
As I got heavy, I was like, kind of hate these now.
Yeah, that's fair.
They kind of feel slow and sluggish. When I was 180 pounds, I was like, hell yeah, pull-ups are great. I can do like 50 of them. Right. Now I'm like 230. I'm like, oh, I got 5?
Yeah.
Cool. So, yeah, we'll just kill pull-ups. I mean, I guess fuck front squats. They're good for a purpose, but
they're going to do their thing for a little while. And then we can move back to SSB and be happy again.
Yeah. Like there's you get benefit from them, and there's there's a time and place for them. Whatever, you get drunk and you think you need bigger quads, and you throw Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you fall.
She looks a little prettier than she is. You've had a little bit too much whiskey, so you front squat.
You're writing your program, and you're like, front squats. I'll do those.
The next day, you regret it.
As soon as you start doing the front squats, you're like,
fuck.
Oh,
What am I doing here?
I'm gonna throw the SSB bar on.
So I guess we're marrying overhead press.
Yeah, I like overhead press.
Yeah.
Overhead press is fun.
Long game for upper body strength too.
Yeah.
It's all right.
I mean, I enjoy them, especially in high repetition.
Like I said, those are the three most complained things I think about from clients. So
reverse Uno card.
Fuck, marry, kill, same three.
Yeah.
Definitely killing front squats.
Yeah. That's totally
killing
fair.
front squats. Fucking pull ups because well, to be honest with you, to be 300 pounds, I'm pretty fucking good at pull ups.
Yeah.
So they're fun sometimes. My elbows and shoulders flared up. They are not fun right now.
Yeah.
But it's really, really fun to go occasionally flex on some skinny dudes and bust out a set of 10 at 300 pounds, to be honest. And then I'm marrying the same one, baby. Overhead press. That's been a staple in my training for a long time. Brandon put it in my training. I hadn't trained overhead press a lot until I got with Brandon. I did it at the CrossFit gym, but early in my powerlifting career, I didn't train it a lot.
Yeah.
Until I got with Brandon. It made a huge difference in my bench press. It's fucking fun. It's humbling. It just checks off all the boxes for a lift. Like, it humbles you. It's fun. You feel like a fucking man when you get good at it. Like, all those things, like, marry an overhead press. So
I feel you.
Slightly different answer.
Just slightly, but
I mean, the pull up, like I said, being able to do 300-pound pull ups, like, it's a cool flex sometimes when you feel good.
It's not quite as cool at 230, especially when you're doing less.
That's fair. Yeah,
now, if I practice them, maybe if I practice them, I'd feel a little different.
My best is 16 at 265, but I can do a set of 10 now at 290. Yeah. So 292 is what I weighed today. So
I don't even know. I know I hit like 25 ish at 180. Yeah. I have a video of it somewhere on my Instagram.
My best weighted is I've done 90 pounds for 5. My best weighted. But I was also, that was CrossFit gym time, so I was probably weighing about your size, 220, 230. Yeah.
I want to say same. I think I hit 2 plates for 4.
I did it on a kettlebell, to be fair. But
I did it with the belt and with plates. But
I did it with a pair of kettlebells. But
But I want to say it was 4 or 5. I don't think it was many.
But they're just a cool flex sometimes.
Yeah, I mean that's totally fair.
All right, guys, that's a short format show.
Is it?
Dad, you got one more question?
No, but we didn't do dad jokes.
Oh, we do have to do dad jokes real quick. My bad.
Trying to skip over the best part of the show.
My shit's gonna die. I don't know if I can find it.
Same. I'm at 4%.
I'm at 3.
Ooh, gonna have to be fast.
It's gonna have to be real fast.
Just don't say.
We're gonna scroll one and read one. Here we go.
Just hit all the way to the bottom. Okay.
All right. My new girlfriend told me I'm terrible in bed. I told her it's unfair to make a judgment in less than a minute.
I'm pretty sure I told that one.
You might have told that one. All
right. I don't know if I said this one or not, but this is a good one. At my boss's funeral, kneeling and whispering at the coffin. Who's thinking outside the box now, Gary?
I like it. I saw a real idiot in the gym the other day. This is some powerlifting shit. If I remember. They had a water bottle in the Pringles holder.
I think I saw that one.
All right.
That's
time to go eat dinner.
It's time to go eat dinner.
Bye.
I had some chicken casserole.
Y'all have fun. Love you.